Hi and welcome back. In this lecture, I'm going to show you that how you can install and start using some awesome node, which is Browser Sync, which will allow your browser to automatically refresh on its own by itself as soon as you change your code. So we don't have to press the refresh key again and again. And other things we're going to learn about is using properties or using objects that are children. But let's get started with actually installing the browser sync. All you need to do is to go to your command line, and I'm assuming that you have already installed Node. Go ahead and run this command, npm install -g browser sync. -g of course means that it will be installed globally. Once it is installed, and I'm going to scroll down to show you that how you can launch it, you can give it what kind of files that you want to watch. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to, first of all, I'm inside my folder called Learning React, and the only file that I have right now is index.html. So how about I say browser sync start --server. So it's going to start own server, and the files that I'm looking for are all the files with the extension HTML. Of course, it doesn't have to be HTML. It can be CSS, it can be JavaScript, it can be any kind of files that you want to watch. As soon as I run this, it's going to start a server on port 3000. So let's go to the port 3000. And it looks like this. We don't really have anything right now on the page. Actually, whatever code I had, I actually removed it, as you can see over here. Let's see if we can test out our browser sync. So on the left-hand side, you can see the browser sync or our browser. And on the right-hand side, obviously, you can see all the code. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to add hello browser sync, and make sure that you save it, Command S. As soon as I save it, boom, I didn't have to press refresh button. I simply got the result over there saying that this is hello browser sync. And now we have installed it and we have running it. Let's talk about creating or dealing with the child object. So let's go ahead first and create our hello world class. So react.create class, and inside the render method, so let's go ahead and add the render method. We are going to return what kind of object that we want to create. Now in this case, since I want to show you how to create children and how it deals with the children, let's go ahead and create a div element. So this is our div element, and inside the div element we have a button. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. And the button is saying that I am a button. Of course, we are not really using React DOM right now to render whatever we have built. So let's go ahead and use that also. React DOM.render. And inside the render, we can actually go ahead and create the hello world object. So hello world. And where do you actually want to display hello world? So we already have something called container on line number 15, which we have created in the first tutorial. So we want to display the result of the hello world inside our container, which in the end is just a div with an ID container. And right now it displays kind of like this. But maybe I want to do something else. Maybe I want to pass in some data. So how about hello world? And I want to pass in something over here. All right. Of course, make sure this is closed. So how can I assign this value, which is something, to the properties of button? That's the first thing, right? So the first thing what I'm going to do is going to use this something and then going to display that instead of I am a button. So let's go ahead and do that, which is pretty easy. You can simply say this.props.children, and now you can see that it actually displays you something like that. You can also say that what kind of operation this is providing. So I can say type, what type of button it is. So this.props.button type maybe. But of course, there is no such thing as button type. I can pass in the button type by simply saying button type is equals to, I don't know, submit. And now if you go and look at your button, let's see if we can find those properties. Select that and select the button. I think it's displaying right over here. All right. So right now it's not able to process this information, and the reason is that you have put that in quotes. So whenever you are binding to some type, you don't have to have that quotes. Boom, we got the button type submit, and we are passing in a child element which sets itself to the value of the button. So that is what the button actually displays. So in this lecture, you have learned how to install Browser Sync, how to start the server of the Browser Sync, and also to how to pass in the child elements and deal with the child elements of your components, which will become very, very important as we start building our more complicated components. Hope you like this lecture. Thank you very much and stay tuned for more.